What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Jamal. I went on and just escaped Maryland because it was literally freezing cold. I mean, when I flew out, it was about 15 degrees or so. I know it's early. Most people don't get on until about 6, but I wanted this to just be out here for you guys. And I just wanted to share some info regarding this whole no PG funding. And I want to talk to you guys a little bit about what's going to be needed so that you can go after that no PG funding. Hopefully, I can dispel some myths. Hopefully, my mic lasts long enough. So if I just go silent, just drop a comment or emoji or something so I know what's happening. All right. I definitely appreciate that. So let's talk about it, man. This no PG funding thing. And I may end up just moving the camera around so I can walk around a little bit. The whole no PG funding thing, right? This is going to be on my cash flow positive businesses. All right. If you're making $5,000 or more every single month in your business, it's a great time to look into no PG funding. Now, maybe you may not know what that is. No PG funding. That means they're not using your personal credit to determine whether or not your business qualifies for any kind of funding. That could be a loan, that could be a line of credit, maybe it might be a credit card, but most credit cards require PG, right? So what that means is that your business is producing enough and it's established well enough that it can stand on its own without you as the business owner or one of the controlling members having to co-sign. So what do a lot of these require? They're going to want to see bank statements. Typically 3 months of bank statements or more is what they would like to see. They're going to want to see that your business has been around for a little bit. I would say minimum 3 months to really get to the higher levels, to the larger lump sums. We're looking at 6 months or 2 years or more. The older your business, the better. The longer your business has been cash flowing, the better. Now, let me pause. Cash flow doesn't necessarily mean profitable. It means that you have money coming in and you can show that you have money coming in. So that $5,000 a month threshold is pivotal for many business owners. I know personally, having $5,000 coming in my business was a freaking dream goal. Like, it was hard as hell just to get to that first 5,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm stressing out. I'm angry. They like, oh, make content. Oh, do this. Oh, run ads. Do that. Do all these, network with people. I'm like, man, I'm doing all this shit. I'm still not making $5,000 a month. What is going on? Right? It's hella fucking frustrating. Right? But when we're talking about going after funding that doesn't require personal credit, they're going to want to see at least $5,000 in that cash flow. Now, there are some lenders like some lenders like American Express, they actually have a business line of credit where as long as your business is cash flowing $3,000, they can give you a line of credit. Now, of course, they're not going to give you as much. And with American Express, they will look at your personal credit. Okay. Now, it's completely no PG funding. A lot of this is going to be geared more towards inventory-based companies. Okay. So you have a grocery store, you have a Walmart, something like that. And also, if you have more like a construction company, right? Or if you have a company where you deal with a lot of invoices or accounts receivable, no PG funding will help those type of businesses the most. So I want to dispel this thing where you can, build up a business and no PG, you'll get $50,000 or $100,000 out the gate. Unfortunately, it don't work like that in the early stages. In the early stages, you're going to do some PG. You want to lay out build out that foundation, get that Paydex 80 score, and have a 700 plus personal credit score in the early stages. Okay. Now, it's hot as a mug out here, y'all. Hot as a mug. Hopefully, y'all enjoying the scenery. Now, with that being said, once your business is about 3 to 6 months old, if your business is already doing $3,000 to $5,000, we can start looking at different opportunities for you. Okay. Now, we have a lot of different banks out here that can lend to you based on their individual criteria, right? Especially when we're talking about credit unions, okay, and local banks. We're talking about regional banks, Truist, Key Bank, right? Banks of that nature. When you combine having good personal credit with a cash flowing business, even if you're only 3 to 6 months old, you'll be able to access more avenues of lending. Okay. Now, in the beginning, the no PG funding, you're going to start off at like a tier one. Tier one, that's simple stuff. We're talking about Granger. We're talking about Uline. We're talking about Shursky. We're talking about eCredible, right? These different companies that offer vendor lines of credit that basically help you establish that first layer, that Paydex 80 score. Next, we can get to like a tier two. Tier two, you start to tiptoe a little bit more so into revolving lines of credit. You know, you can get some gas cards or fuel cards, you know, what is it, AOT, Fuelman, BP, you know what I mean? There are a lot of fuel cards that you can get, right? And along with that, you can start going to stores. You can start getting vendor lines of credit from large stores like Home Depot, name brand stores like Floor and Decor, name brand stores like Lowe's, name brand stores like Sam's Club, right? These stores and companies offer no PG lending to businesses. Now, of course, you're going to want to have a business that utilizes those stores. That's why no PG funding works best for construction companies or inventory heavy companies. For instance, Sam's Club would be great if you have a vending machine business, right? You're able to not only purchase your vending machines from Sam's, but you can also buy your inventory from Sam's. And you're able to, hopefully, right? You're able to churn that pretty fast, right? You find a place to put the vending machines, you load the vending machines, people use them, you cash out, you pay it back, right? Same thing with Home Depot as far as fronting the cost and the materials, starting the project, getting paid back from your client, and then you just have that cycle. Those are going to be the beginning stages of building out that no PG funding. Now, where it gets good is after you build out that tier one, after you build out that tier two, you have Sam's, you have Lowe's, you have Home Depot, etc. You can start building out even more so to bigger companies like Ford, right? Like, I was going to say Mercedes-Benz, but Mercedes-Benz, they're still going to run your credit. But different car dealerships, right? You can even check with your specific car dealership on whether or not they offer business auto loans. Okay, business auto loans that do not require any personal guarantee, and many of them do, right? They're going to ask for, depending on how well your business credit is built out. Okay, so that's first thing. You got to make sure you have a nice built out business credit profile. They're also going to may ask you about your cash flow, depending on how your business credit is built. It's hot, y'all. It's hot. I'm melting, but I still wanted to come on here, chop it up with y'all, right? You're still going to want to have that. So typically, if you're talking about an auto loan, I'll give you guys this. We're talking about having like about 10 trade lines on your business credit. And they want to see like a 90 or even 100 Paydex score on your business credit when you're going for like an auto loan straight on the business side only, right? Now, some may ask for more information. They may want to see your bank statements. Again, if your company is generating $5,000 a month, being able to show them 3 months of $5,000 a month or more, that'll get you in the door. Boom. Now you have your auto loan under your business. The great thing about this is that any of the debt you take on as your company does not show up on your personal credit. This is why so many people are excited about the idea of no PG funding, because they think, oh, I can build a business without having good personal credit. And you can absolutely do that. You can 100% even build out business credit, get lines of credit for your business without it being linked to your personal whatsoever. Just understand that it takes time. Just understand that those initial lines of credit that you're going to be offered as a company won't be very large. We're not talking about 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, $60,000 in credit the same way that you can get 40, 50,000, 100, $200,000 if you had good personal credit and you were also able to PG it. Okay, so let's just make sure completely transparent about that. All right, so the great thing about this, no PG funding is absolutely real. You just want to make sure that it's structured properly. Like I said, that first tier, I'll give you that. That's going to be your Uline. That's going to be your Granger. That's going to be your E-Credible. That's going to be Shursky. You can even get a Fuelman card on there, right? And then there are some other cards that, like charge cards, you may use that can still be considered business credit. But I mean, I wouldn't really consider it business credit. That would be like a Cap on Tap, or maybe like a Divvy or a Brex or something like that. Like those are really like charge cards. I'm not a huge fan of those. Y'all let me know if you like those cards, if you use them. What have been your experiences with those, with the divvies in the fintechs? You let me know. Like I got a divvy card, but I never used it. You know what I mean? Because it just wasn't like, the points didn't really point for me. You know what I'm saying? Like they really didn't do anything for me, right? So y'all let me know what you think about that. But yeah, wanted to hop on here, share a little bit of sunshine with y'all, share a little bit of info. Y'all let me know what you think. If you're ready to get started on building your business credit, I do have a guide. It's only $17, and it actually walks you through how to build up all of those tiers. So like I said, the first tier, that'll get you a Paydex 80 score. Once you're above the Paydex 80 score, you also want to make sure that you're building out your Experian. That's your Intellis score. You also want to make sure you're building out your Equifax, right? That's your risk factor score. You also want to make sure you're building out your small business FICO score, right? The small business FICO score is very important because that's the score that's actually going to be checked by the SBA when you go for SBA loans. People don't tell you that, right? I'm going to be dropping more content, more videos about that small business FICO score so that more of us can get access to those SBA loans. Now, SBA loans are a bit more complex, right? So we're going to build out a whole series for that. But for no PG funding, if that's something that you're interested in, if you have a business that will actually benefit from no PG funding, whether you are inventory heavy, you operate off of accounts receivable and invoices, or you may be in construction, things of that nature, definitely just comment in the description. There'll be a link to my ebooks. You can choose the business credit blueprint, and on there it'll give you, it's over 100 pages, y'all. I mean, it's like everything you need to know. How to set up your company with your state, because you got to make sure you're registered with the state. How to register with Dun & Bradstreet. They're the largest and the oldest credit reporting company in the world, right? You can't build up your business credit without getting your DUNS number. You have to register with Dun & Bradstreet in order to get the DUNS number. Now, don't be scammed. The DUNS number is 100% free. You don't need to pay DUNS. You don't need to pay me. You don't need to pay anyone else to get this number, all right? So don't get scammed on that, okay? You're going to need to make sure that's set up, and then you can start building out those tiers, all right? And to make sure you don't skip a step, definitely go ahead, just drop the word. You can drop the word blueprint or check out the links in the description to grab your guide today. Let me know if you guys like this content, if this was helpful for you. Any other questions you may have, just drop them in the comments. More than happy to chop it up with you guys. And, you know, just share knowledge, share information. You know what I mean? More than happy to build community with you guys. And yeah, man, I'm going to sit back. I'm going to hop in this pool, take this black off. And I'm going to see you guys later. All right. You see the sweat. You see the sweat. Working hard out here for you. All right. Peace, everybody.